Good morning. This is Sonia Rivera with Casa Vida. We are here this morning in the Heights with Casa Ramirez. And with me, this gentleman here, this very handsome young man, is Macario Ramirez. Mr. Ramirez, tell us a little bit about your store. I was just mentioning it's such a beautiful store and you have such amazing things in here. Tell us a little bit about it.
We love what we do. This is welcome to Casa Ramirez. And we've been doing it over 40 years now. And started small, obviously. Now we're quite big, large. And I had a chance early on in my life, after I got out of school, to either go work in Washington or California, or back to San Antonio and back to Houston. And I decided San Antonio, Houston. And I started thinking about opening up a shop. It's something we call Casa Ramirez. My father taught me a lot of things about what this merchandise. So we opened Casa Ramirez, and it's been nicely successful ever since. We invite a lot of people come here. What you see all around me is Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, which has become very popular. We started promoting it 30, 40 years ago, and now it's gotten quite big. A lot of places are doing it, and I'm glad that they are. Day of the Dead is about remembering your loved ones, remembering your antepasados, your ancestors, and going both to the cemetery on November 1st and 2nd, November 1 for children, November 2 for adults. We promoted this and taught it, and have had hundreds of people come through here, and I even have a classroom in the back. I didn't want us to lose this beautiful celebration.
Yes.
So,
yeah, it is a beautiful tradition, and thank you. I just learned something. I didn't realize. I knew it was November 1st and 2nd, but I didn't realize the 1st was for children and the 2nd for adults. There's a beautiful altar right behind you, which I understand is your family altar.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that one?
oh, that's a very close one. We keep it year round because a lot of people come here from out of town, out of state to look at what we're doing, especially in Dia de los Muertos. That first one is a community altar. Judy Turner does that, where people that don't have an altar, we have about 6, 8 people invited to put altars here. So it's a tribute to my father, my mother, my father Jesus, my mother Marina, and Chrissy, her parents, George, and Chrissy Dickerson, yeah. And so you see photographs of them in the back. Then you see an arch over the top. Arch signifies someone of importance that you're honoring, you're remembering. There's so much symbolism, 8 or 10 components, and most of them are here. And I don't think that I have my mother's molcajete. They had a hole at the bottom.
Oh, no.
We kept it. She had thrown it away in the trash can, and I said, "What is this?" He said, "Ese es mugrero, ya no sirve." I said, "No, a mí me sirve."
Yes.
And I've had it all these years, for many, many, many years. And other things. One thing, you'll have a glass of water on each altar, and then you'll have salt. I'll tell you about the salt in a bit. And you have these flowers. They're called simpasuchil. Simpasuchil is a very ancient flower. These are not real, but we can't get the real ones here. You have to get them in Mexico. Right now, a lot of people are working on their altars in Mexico and going out to cemetery and out looking for flowers to put on there. You put the person's favorite flowers, but you put the orange flower, the simpasuchil, because, and it's very fragrant. It represents the sun. The sun is growth, and it's very symbolic. It's yellow, orange, very symbolic. In a very strange way. Each altar usually has a little salt, a little container of salt on it.
What does the salt signify?
I'm glad you asked me. to keep away the evil spirits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then sometimes I give classes to chefs in Houston, and they usually ask, we do the same. If you break a glass or break a plate, you say, oh God, what happened? You get salt and you throw it behind you. Get the salt, throw it behind you. So that's what that salt is for. And we believe that everybody has good spirits, but they have evil spirits. And it's that evil spirit that made you break that glass.
Okay.
I remember as a little kid, I didn't know any better. And my grandmother or mother would say, córrele, córrele, ahí viene el diablo. And I didn't know that. I'd go outside and under the house, and I'd hide. And until he was gone. And then they said, you can come up, puedes salir.
That's interesting. I recall one time going into a shop and there was novedades similar to this, and one of the little monitos fell over when I walked in, and the store lady said, "Ahí traes un travieso,"
Yeah, yeah.
and I didn't know what she meant by that. So now I know. It's good to know.
There's always an evil spirit, a bad spirit following us that make us do what we don't want to do.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it goes all the way back to the Last Supper, and when Judas was sitting at the table in la mesa, there was some salt on there. And when Jesus says, which of you betrayed me? ¿Quién me traicionó? And he leaned over nervously, and he knocked over the salt.
Oh, so interesting.
And so that's where that story comes from.
So these altars are so beautiful. They have such amazing character, and just it's an honor to just look at them because you can tell the love that goes into these altars. How long has this tradition been in existence? Can you tell us a little bit about its origins?
It's pre-Columbian. The Aztecs, and before the Colombians came from Spain to conquer Mexico, looking for gold, and the tradition was already going with los Aztecas, and the priests that stayed in Mexico to civilize Mexico, supposedly. There was a lot of ancient tradition, indigenous tradition, and so it goes back to Aztec.
Okay.
Yeah, way back.
And so I understand that all of the like the arch you indicated and the salt and the water have a specific significance.
Yes.
What is it? Why do people do the altars, and what does the Dia de los Muertos actually mean?
Well, it coincides. It's both religious and indigenous, and it's done again in remembrance of a loved one, and the ritual, or all you see here, is a combination of church, All Saints, All Souls, November 1, All Saints, Los Angelitos, and November 2, the adults. And that's when we celebrate this, which will be in a week or so. We'll be celebrating Dia de los Muertos with a procession and music and entertainment, and we invite people to come. It costs them nothing. Just come see how we do it.
And you do that right here along the street in front of the store, or where's that?
The store mostly.
Okay.
And then outside, if the weather permitting, and then we have a procession of Aztec dancers, Danza Azteca.
Mr. Ramirez, give us your the specific address of Casa Ramirez and your phone number and how people can reach you.
Yeah, we're at 220 19th Street, 19th, West 19th Street. We're between Yale and Shepherd, and we're open every day from 10 until 6, sometimes 7, later when we have an exhibit like this. And it's in the Houston Heights. We ask everybody to come see us, come be with us.
Thank you, Mr. Ramirez. Such an honor to meet you. I know you've done wonderful things in the community as well, and there's so much to learn here. I wish we had more time, but we do encourage people to come by the store, Casa Ramirez in the Heights on 19th Street, And please come by and check them out. Support the shop, the altars. It's a beautiful tradition. So much to learn. As Mr. Ramirez indicated, they do have classes. So stop by, visit them, and learn a lot more about this culture.